starting the meeting at 7:04 PM for the August 20th, 2025 Conservation Commission meeting of Lunenburg. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that the meeting is being audio-video recorded. The agenda lists all of the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken from these discussions. Not all items may be discussed, and other items may be raised to the extent permitted by open meeting law. Please be advised that the town of Lunenburg utilizes Zoom platform as host for its hybrid and remote meetings, that the Zoom platform utilizes AI technology, known as AI Companion, to create audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of the meeting minutes, and that the AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching the Zoom application. You are hereby notified that this AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and or following the conclusion of the meeting. All right, so I'm going to do a roll call. Teddy Doucette,
Here.
Andrea Burnett,
Here.
Chris St. Germain,
Here.
and then Richard Bursch, Mary Wilson, and Mike LaRouche are all out tonight, and here present for myself. And do we have any comments from members of the public before we get started? Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes and on a subject matter under the direct jurisdiction of the commission. Comments about current agenda items are to be made during the comment period of the specific agenda item. Please address all comments to the chair. Do we have any public comments? It does not look like it. Pollinator habitat check-in. Mike isn't here, so he's going to be the one doing that. But just for anybody on, we do have a pollinator habitat in Lunenburg. It's beautiful. It's at 123 Hollis Road, and I highly suggest that you take a visit. We don't have any minutes to approve, so we will move on to new public hearings. So pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a notice of intent by Ashley Owens for the demolition of an existing home and construction of a 2-unit dwelling in the 100-foot buffer zone at 68A Laurel Lane and NOI-25-5. Do we have the applicant or the representative on the line? Okay, yep. I'm going to give you the ability to share your screen if there's anything that you would like to share with us. And then okay, awesome. Gonna go over the project or?
Yes, I can go over the project. Let's do this. So the project is at 68A Laurel Lane. The lot has been split already by David Ross. The site plan has been submitted. We are proposing to do a new 2-family further away from Whalen Lake than the current existing house, outside of the buffer zone, and that's the gist of the project.
Okay, so I spoke to Herlin about the issue with the straw wattles.
Yes.
And so she said that it's not an issue with straw wattles, it's an issue with hay bales.
Okay.
Had you mentioned hay bales to her at all?
Yes, and the comment I received was no hay or straw is to be used. But
I think she meant maybe, or I'm not sure if it was that there's a comment that you received from her. But it was no hay bales and straw wattles are acceptable, is what.
okay,
Okay, so I just wanted to
thank you for
let you
following
know
up.
that. Yep. And then you don't have a DEP number yet.
We do have a DEP number.
It's not on the NOI website unless it's under a different property.
It could be. There's been a lot of confusion with the properties here. The town has it listed as 74. Used to. We had it listed as 7072. But we do have a DEP number. I can try and locate it.
I'm looking on the NOI website. It looks like this is the filing date of 3/4/2025.
Yes.
And then here, I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at.
Okay. Should I stop sharing?
I'm just gonna take it
It doesn't.
over and then I'll let you share and then I'll have you share
Okay,
again. So
perfect.
this is what I'm seeing for 68A Laurel Lane. And there's
Okay,
no NOI number yet. Do you have your NOI number so I can just look it up in here real quick? Or your DEP number?
the DEP number. So I have the email from them, the DEP confirmation. I have the transaction ID. I would have to look and follow up.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they haven't issued a DEP number yet. So, um, well, an NOI number. So you're definitely gonna want to follow up with
Yeah,
that. So we wouldn't
absolutely.
be able
Uh,
to approve it tonight without a DEP number or vote on it. And yeah, so just to make you aware of that.
you go to the DEP website. Yeah, let me go to the DEP website. Um, because that is strange. I know we got held up, and that may have been part of it. Um, so I don't know if you want me to just follow up with this, or if we wait, do we have to then come back to another meeting?
Yeah, so I mean, no matter what, you're going to have to come back to another meeting just because there isn't a number. So without a NOI number, we can't approve. That's just the Wetland Protection Act rules. So can you pull up your plan again? And then we can just look at it and see if we have anything that we might want to see on the plan. That way we can get some of that stuff out of the way for
Sure.
you for when you come back.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay, so on this plan, for the water line, all right, so here's the garage. Which way is the water?
The water's here.
Okay, there we go.
So this is the 30-foot wetland buffer. This is the 50-foot. The existing house is already behind the 50-foot, but the existing house is entirely within the 100-foot. So the new house is proposed to be further away from the lake than the existing house.
Okay. And it's gonna be overlapping the existing house and then going back
Correct.
away
Going
from
back
the,
towards the street. Yep.
okay. And then so you have two stockpile areas, it looks like. One is a little bit in
We have
front of,
three. So we have one up here near the electrical pole. We have one here between the houses,
okay,
and one down here if we need it. Uh, but I don't truly anticipate needing anything down here.
okay. And then can you scroll down a little bit? Um, and then so you have a silt fence on there now. And then
Jenny,
can you scroll down a little bit more? Oh, Chris?
I'm under a virus attack. I have to turn off my computer and open up another laptop. So I'll have to rejoin.
Okay, is it just telling you that there's like a virus?
Yeah, I'm getting it's all over my screen though. I can't get it turned off.
Oh, yeah. If you try Control Alt Delete and then close the browser, it might kill
Okay.
it.
All right.
But if not, just restart your computer.
Okay.
I have the regular recording going, so
Okay. Try that.
This may not. Maybe because I know.
any luck?
Still working on it.
Okay, so you have a silt fence on here and it looks like it's going across here it is. And knowing that you could be using straw wattles, do you want to stick with the silt fence or do you want to update that? Would you prefer straw wattles?
Yeah, I'll probably end up using that. I think we used both for the other project.
Okay. So
Uh,
maybe just when you come back, put, silt fence and straw wattles or combination of, or,
okay.
okay. Do we have any questions from members of the commission? Okay. That was Teddy just put up an X, which means no, and I've never seen anyone do that before. I was like, what is that?
I like
I
Um,
just feel like it's better than sitting in silence.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Any luck, Chris?
Yeah, I got to stop doing it, so I think I'm okay.
Sweet. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have any questions from members of the commission. Do we have any members of the public that have any comments or questions about this project?
Sorry.
It doesn't look like it. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, you do have to come back because there's no NOI number. But if you can get that straightened out, I will let Michael know that I'm assuming you'd want to at least try to come back for the next meeting, which would be September 3rd, 2025. And then
Okay,
hopefully
yep.
you can get it straightened out before that.
We'll definitely get it straightened out before that.
Okay, great.
All
So,
right, September 3rd. You got
yeah,
it.
so I'd be looking for a motion to continue to September 3rd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I second.
Okay, I have Chris with the motion and Teddy with the second. Roll call vote. Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right, motion to continue to September 3rd, 2025 approved, and we will see you at that meeting.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right, let me just pin. There you are. I want to pin you, Chris. Okay. So up next, pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have 795 Leominster Road, a public hearing on a notice of intent by Ken Chaplin for the construction of a residential driveway and stormwater basin in the 50-foot buffer zone. Do we have the applicant or representative on the line, on the call?
Yes, Madam Chair. Ryan Proctor with Dillis and Roy, here representing the applicant.
Okay, let me make you a co-host.
Thank you.
Okay, would you like to go over the project with us?
I'd be happy to. Just let me share my screen. I'll pull up the site plan here. All right, great. Thank you for your time tonight. Again, Ryan Proctor, Dillis and Roy, representing the applicant for this project, Ken Chaplin. The commission may be familiar with this site in particular. At the end of 2024, we had permitted 3 separate lots on the corner of Leominster Road and Kilbourne Street. At that time, when we permitted the original project, the site address was identified as 20 Kilbourne Street, and we had lots 1, 2, and 3. Lot 1, which is the subject of this application tonight, we had submitted an RDA for the construction of a proposed single-family house, which is outside of the buffer zone. The 100-foot buffer zone is this outer orange line here. The only work at that time that we're proposing within the buffer was a short extension of the new driveway and associated grading with that construction. The other 2 lots, which are not the subject of tonight's discussion, but just for context, were 2 notice of intents that were previously filed, again, as part of that overall collective development on the corner of Kilbourne Street and Leominster Road. Along with the RDA that we'd filed with your commission, we had also filed for a stormwater permit with the planning board at that same time at the end of 2024. The site collectively disturbed more than an acre, so for each lot, we were required to file a stormwater permit. And as part of those discussions with the board and as per the regulations, we were required to address the stormwater management, stormwater runoff associated with this development. And what we ended up doing is proposing a stormwater basin within the buffer zone, which in this case is the low point of the site where all the water is running anyways. And that falls within the 50-foot no build zone, which is this inner line. It is completely outside of the 30-foot no disturb zone, which is the third orange line that I just highlighted. That project was reviewed, as I mentioned, by the planning board, and the applicant did pay to have the application peer reviewed. So the peer review engineer reviewed the drainage system that we're proposing tonight, along with the overall site characteristics and the project as a whole. And we were granted that special permit, the stormwater permit, excuse me, and I did upload a copy of that permit to the application along with these materials. So the only addition, the new disturbance within the buffer that the commission has not seen before is strictly limited to this area down here, which again is just the stormwater basin that we needed to put in to address the stormwater runoff concern and address the conditions of that stormwater permit with the planning board process. We have received a DEP file number for this project, and I did submit a cover letter last week addressing those comments. I'll just go through those very quickly. The first two were relative to the overall site. So as I mentioned, we subdivided this parcel out of a much larger parcel. So there's a little confusion on the site address. Originally, as I mentioned, it was identified as lot 1. So we clarified that the proposed project that we're here for tonight, 795 Leominster Road, is its own lot now. And that's the one that we filed for. And the other projects have their order of conditions already. The second and third comments are relative to stormwater management. DEP acknowledges that the project is exempt from the stormwater standards. They did provide some comments and recommendations on the stormwater system. So I did provide some responses to that, but as I mentioned, we did receive a stormwater permit from the planning board earlier this year, and that was peer reviewed by the town's review consultant, engineering consultant. The final comment was relative to professional conditions for operation and maintenance activities. We do have an operation and maintenance manual that we prepared for the stormwater permit, and there are operation and maintenance conditions referenced in that permit. However, if your commission wanted to include conditions about operation and maintenance of that basin, which would include mowing and cleaning out of sediment, we would take no objection to that. So that is why we're here tonight. If there are any questions, I would be happy to take them.
Okay. Do we have any questions from members of the commission? All right. Oh, Chris, I think you're talking.
Yeah, the O&M portion, can you
Yes.
explain, are you going to follow their recommendations? Or are you saying that you're not going to follow them unless we ask you to?
Oh, no. Yeah, we will. So it's part of the stormwater permit to maintain that basin. So we will have to anyways. But again, DEP recommended it. So it would be a redundant condition. But
Okay,
if that would make you feel comfortable, we're okay with it.
Just pulling up the plan really quickly.
Sure.
Maintenance tasks for the construction period, routine operation and schedule. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Unless you want to pull it up and share your screen.
Oh, if you have it handy, then by all means.
Okay. Okay, so the schedule is showing grass swale be inspected monthly, mowed in the spring and the fall. And then remove debris and sediment as required. So that's just saying that when it's there, it will be removed, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then riprap inspection, remove debris, remove sediment. Okay, so that will be done every spring. And this is perpetual.
Yep.
And then inspection of the trench. Storm drain lines, inspect and clean. I think, does anyone have any questions on any of this from the commission? Anything else they'd like to see?
My question is, who does these inspections, Jenny?
That's a good question. I am trying to set it up so that things are built into our, workflow in OpenGov as far as inspections go for the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, things like that. Feels like it's outside of the scope of the Conservation Commission. So really not, I have no idea,
Okay.
to be honest. I know that the fact that it exists and it's approved and they've said they are going to do it, if somebody were to go out and look and these things aren't being done, then at least there would be something to back up saying, no, you have to do this.
Okay.
But as far as somebody going out and checking it, Ryan, do you
Yeah,
have
so
any comments on
I'm
that?
sorry. Yeah, so typically these, when we have a drainage report, typically you're on a larger subdivision where there's some sort of homeowners association or something that would function as the operation and maintenance people. But in this case, it will be the responsibility of the homeowner. It's their system that's working on their runoff, so it's their responsibility to make sure that the system's functioning as designed, and that's why the O&M schedule that you're looking at and up in the page is also, there's also descriptions on what exactly they're supposed to do. But yeah, it will ultimately be the homeowner's responsibility.
So, and then, yeah. Okay. Do we have any other questions for members of the commission? It does not appear so. Do we have any? I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Jenny, do you give neighbors a
Oh,
time to?
I'm so
you-
sorry.
you-
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you for that. Do we have any comments from members of the public? And then,
I have a question.
yes.
This is John Carroll, and I live at 803 Leominster Road. And I don't know if I'm in a butter or an adjacent property owner. And the question for Ryan, can you show your plan again, please?
Sure.
Can you pull that plan up? And I just want to see something. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hasn't quite come up yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It
not
says
there. Oh,
it says you've started screen sharing.
okay.
Black.
Let me try to restart. Let's see. How about now?
No.
It says you've started and it says double click to enter full screen mode. It's like you're
Black.
sharing nothing.
Oh, did you see it the first time?
Nope,
I could see it I could see it
originally.
the first time, but not these 2 times.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry. That has not been a problem before.
I've never seen that before.
I tried different screen.
There you go.
Oh, okay. All
Third
right.
time's a
Interesting.
charm.
Third time's a charm. Here we go.
So I have a couple of questions regarding the driveway because I have one of the easements on that driveway.
Mhm.
There's no encroachment by what do you have for the width of the driveway? Can I ask you?
Of the proposed driveway, I think it's 12 feet.
No, the existing easement,
Oh,
the driveway that we use, Josh Hillman and I use to get up to our houses.
I can get that for you in one moment.
Thank you.
The existing gravel driveway to remain, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
And I have a question about how they plan on getting the pipe from the drainage swale across. We spent a a little bit of money several years ago to get that driveway redone, and so we put geotech tech fabric in, and I'd like to make sure if the new owner does something that he does it in a way that doesn't completely tear things apart.
Pulling up the drawing right now. We had a server crash a couple minutes before this meeting started, so bear with me, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can answer your second question while I'm loading up the width here, but I assume that the pipe would be, it's just a one pipe that we're installing there. I assume that it would just be trenched across. I imagine it'd be done very quickly. It'd probably be opened and cut and installed in less than a day.
Well, so Ryan, I put 8, I think I put 10 pipes along the driveway, 5 of which are on that section.
Mhm.
And it might be helpful for you guys to talk to me, because I might be able to help you get a pipe across there without tearing up that driveway.
Okay.
I have 8-inch drainage pipes I put in that were never used, but we put them in anticipation at some point they might be needed. It will enable your owner to sneak a pipe through pretty easy without tearing up things.
Yeah, I'd be happy to put you in contact with them.
Yeah, it might help them. It might help them.
That'd be great. Thank you.
But certainly the easement, I just want to make sure they're not encroaching on that, because certainly we use it and that's kind of important.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you'll see on the plan, but we're not proposing any grading or any changes to any of the elevations of your driveway. We're just
Yeah, it looks like the easement is the dashed line, so it does look like it's outside. Is that your impression of it also?
All the disturbance, the basin, all of that work is outside of that easement. That's
Okay.
correct. Yep. Yeah.
And Jenny,
The only other
comment I have is there's a catch basin that the town put in at the bottom of that driveway years ago. And that was quite a lollapalooza back then. And I'm reticent to bring it up, but, and I don't want to gum this project up, because these people, they're trying to do what they need. But, you're putting this new owner through all these hoops, and yet the town still owns that. And it's been a nightmare. It floods down there regularly still, but it's not this owner's problem. It's a town problem that's existing.
Yeah, well, is the water that's coming off into that storm drain, is that from this property?
No, it's coming from the street.
Okay. And have you reported that to the DPW? I'm assuming?
I brought it to the DPW years ago, and that's the solution, was to put the catch basin down there and pipe the raw stuff into the swamp adjacent. And, at some point
So, I would think that partially what's happening here would help with some of the runoff from this property. As far as it coming down the street, is it coming
Sure.
down from is it the road that Cherry Hill is on? What is that?
Leominster Road.
Leominster Road. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is Leominster Road.
It's not, I don't want it to gum this up, because it's not this property owner's issue. Certainly the easement is an issue, but it looks like that's been taken care of. And I can certainly talk to Jack Maloney about, in fact, I think I mentioned it to him the other day, that we may be able to help him find a way to get in there without tearing up the driveway.
So this basin is not really for the runoff into the road, but
Yes, I realize that.
it's for
I
the
do rea-
wetlands.
Right,
that
I do
is
realize that.
below grade, yeah. So, that's the real purpose that we're here looking at this.
Okay, and I understand that.
Okay, so as far as it looks like there's a 12-inch pipe proposed here. Right? Or what is the?
Yep. That's
Yeah,
accurate.
HDP, yeah.
Yep.
And it sounds like we're good as far as figuring out how that easement in that driveway will be, the impact will be as little as possible to the current homeowners who use that for access to their properties?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so are you, does that satisfy everybody involved right now? Was it John Carroll was your name?
Yes, and I don't see any issues with it. It looks like they factored it in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And sorry that I almost forgot to ask if there were any comments. So thank you for speaking up.
That's
Um,
okay. It happens.
Did we have any other questions, for members of the commission? Okay, so I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Chris with the motion and Teddy with the second. All right, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right, thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, let me just make some notes here. All right, so pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have a public hearing on a notice of intent by Jarina Koss for a septic system upgrade to replace existing failed system in the 100-foot buffer zone. Do we have the applicant or their representative on the line?
Yes, Chris McKenzie from Dillis and Roy here to present this project.
I'm going to make you a co-host.
Thank you. I'd love to share my screen.
Okay, yep, please do.
Where is it? All right. Let's do that. How's that? Can we see that all right?
We can.
All right. So this is the existing house located at 1498 Lancaster Ave, located right here. Just to familiarize yourself with the area, it's basically the last house on the right at the end of Lancaster Ave, just before you get to Leominster Shirley Road. In fact, the neighboring property is actually on Leominster Shirley Road, right there. So the existing house is located here. There's a well in the front yard, so that eliminates the whole front yard area for the potential for a septic system. The existing septic system that's failed is located in this area here. So we've proposed a new septic system, a Presby system, located back here. It is within the 100-foot buffer, but it is outside the, excuse me? Is that a question?
No,
Oh, sorry. Thought I
I
heard
didn't hear
somebody.
anything.
I'm sorry.
Might have been my cat.
So that we show the 50-foot buffer. You can see there's no work being proposed in the 50-foot buffer zone. We've got an erosion control barrier of wattles around the entire work area. This system is a Presby system. It's an IA system, so it's afforded a smaller footprint than a conventional system, which is part of the reason why we choose it in this kind of application, to minimize the amount of work that would have to occur in the buffer zone. Typically, we show over here, this is what a conventional system would look like. You can see that the grading for that system will end up way down into the 50-foot buffer and almost into the 30-foot no disturb zone. Close, not quite into it. So this kind of shows why we would choose to do a Presby system. You can see it's a lot smaller footprint and takes up a lot less area. So we show the erosion control barriers that will be in place until everything is stabilized, and then it'll be removed once the project is complete and stabilized. Any questions?
Do you have any questions for members of the commission?
Is there a DEP number?
There is.
Yes.
Um,
Any notes?
and there's no notes on this
Okay.
one. So, yep, 208-1356 and no technical comments. I do have we did a site walk here over the weekend. I do have some pictures. This one, it seems very straightforward. So let me just share my screen though and share those pictures just so so you can see it, Chris.
Mhm.
And I'm sharing.
You need me to stop? Does that help? Oh,
Now I
there we
can
go.
just take it over.
Yeah.
So, this is it looks like it's going around right here on the property. The house is over there. It's a pretty big flat area. And it's really the only area that made sense that we could see in the yard. So appears to be very straightforward. Do we have any questions from members of the public? I remembered this time. It does not appear that we do. Okay, so I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Chris with the motion and Teddy with the second. Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. Motion approves unanimously. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. And
Have a good
looks
night.
like I'm all done sharing my screen, so have a good night.
Good night. Okay. Up next, we have pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a notice of intent by the Town of Lunenburg for the use of hand harvesting, diver-assisted suction harvesting, herbicides and algicides to manage the growth of non-native aquatic plants and prevent the growth of algae blooms in Lake Whalum. The project will address eutrophication, improve aquatic habitats that support fish and wildlife species, and restore the natural capacity of the resource area to protect the interest identified in the Wetlands Protection Act. Do we have the applicant, which is the town, or the representative on the meeting?
Hi, Matt Ladwig from TRC. I'm here representing the applicant, which is the town of Lunenburg.
Hey, let
And I believe
me,
the applicant is also on the call.
and is that Chris Ruth?
That is,
That's
I am.
correct.
And
Perfect.
Jenny Karen Menard from the Park Commission is here as well.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna make you all co-host just in case there's anything you want to share.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, great.
All right, can everybody see that?
I can.
Great. Yeah, so this is Lake Whalum. Map that you're seeing right now is a map of aquatic plant cover in the lake that we developed from a survey that we did in June of this year. The colors on this map range from blue, which is open water, to red, which is really high density plants. And then the green, yellow, and orange categories are in between. Our area of focus for tonight's conversation is the town beach area, which is up here at the north end of the lake. As you can see, there are patches of red and orange and a little bit of green and yellow out in front of the beach. And obviously this is an area that's used for swimming by the public. The plants that are growing in this area are non-native species with high biomass, so they produce a lot of stems and leaves in the water column, and basically create a safety issue there swimming at the beach. The plants involved are two non-native milfoils, so Eurasian milfoil and variable leaf milfoil, as well as a species called curly leaf pondweed. The lake is listed by Mass DEP as an impaired water body, category 4C for non-native species. So these species have been known about for a while, and obviously they impair the use of this area here for swimming. So we worked with the applicant to pull together a proposed management program for Lake Whalum, again, focusing primarily on this area here in front of the beach for now. The management approaches that we're proposing to use are hand harvesting, as you mentioned, because of the fact that these are submerged aquatic plant species, most likely will be divers. And due to some of the volumes that we may need to remove, we may use a system called DASH, which is diver-assisted suction harvesting. So really the only difference between that and diver harvesting is diver harvesting, the divers go down, pull up the plants, bring them up to the surface each time they have a handful of plants in a bag, and then put them on a boat or walk them out onto the beach. With the diver-assisted suction harvesting is a more efficient process, so they actually they still have to pull the plants by hand from the bottom of the lake, but they just feed them into the suction tube, and then that carries the plants up onto the vessel topside to deposit the plants and let them dewater there. So they can be more efficient in continuing to pull the plants at the bottom of the lake. So those are sort of the physical methods that we would propose for controlling plant growth in this area. We've also proposed a couple of herbicides for use, both of which are pretty effective or very effective actually on the target species that I mentioned. The first one is Procelicor, and that is a systemic herbicide approved by EPA and registered in Massachusetts for aquatic use. It's primarily used for controlling milfoils because it can be used at a very low dose and essentially not affect any other plants and only take out the milfoil. So it's a really good tool for these two species of milfoil that we have in the lake. The other herbicide is a broader spectrum contact herbicide, usually known by its trade name as Tribune or Reward. And that is what we would need to use to control curly leaf pondweed, which is not susceptible to Procelicor. If we wanted to control that at a significant level and couldn't control it with diver harvesting. So those are kind of like the two chemical tools that we are proposing to put in our tool belt for aquatic plant control. And then a third tool that we're proposing to have as part of the management program is algicides. And it's not known right now whether we would actually need to apply these. But since we're proposing to do aquatic plant control, and this is a swim beach, and a lot of other ponds across the state have had issues with harmful algal blooms closing down beaches, we just wanted to be proactive and have that tool at hand in case it's needed in the future. So those are kind of the three tools that we're looking at using here. Again, the first two are really to control plants. The third would just be sort of as needed if algae did become an issue here. And we don't know if we'll even need to use that, but rather be prepared than not. Because this is an aquatic management plan, and as you can see, the lake is pretty full of aquatic plants, including the non-native species they're pretty well distributed across the lake. This is going to be a project that kind of has to be ongoing. So we are requesting a 5-year order of conditions if that's possible, just to allow maximum flexibility to actually be able to enact this program over time. And that's my presentation. Turn it back to you for any questions.
Okay, thank you. So for the suction hand pulling, And that's gonna focus on those 3 species, and it's just gonna be those 3 species listed that you discussed, right? And if we're hand pulling and removing those, and this is, specifically in the beach area, um, why would we move on to the herbicide? If we're gonna be hand pulling these species?
Well, so I guess the answer is you'd want to have both tools. I think the town's going to try to start with the hand harvesting and see how effective that can be. In past experience, if you're working in dense plant beds, it can take several days to clear an acre, and then you'd have to come back the next year and do the same, hopefully at a lower density. But it's a good tool for clearing small areas, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to make. And as things get kind of, maybe if they get too far out of control or they're too dense, the chemical option is a better one for that.
Okay, and then so,
If I may add a comment, this is Chris Ruth.
Yep.
Part of it too is the suction harvesting is significantly more expensive. So what we're trying to do is clean up the areas really well with the hand suction harvesting, where the swim lessons are. We've had kids coming out of the water with leeches during swim lessons. So it was really, the initial plan was to hand harvest and then maintain with herbicides as we need to, or have all the options, because it's a huge cost to the taxpayers to do all this.
okay, and then, when an herbicide is applied, and it's gonna be like a targeted application, the lake will be shut down, I'm assuming, for the day or a day, to make sure that there's no movement
So
distributing it around, or what's the
yes,
plan?
so typically the applicator would post the lake for the day. There's technically no requirement to shut the lake down. In fact, can't really close the boat launch because it is a public launch. But it will be posted and recommended that recreation be avoided for that day. There's no label requirement for that. It's just sort of standard practice in Massachusetts. And really, it's mainly to keep people out of the way while the applicators are doing their job. So obviously, you wouldn't have them applying the herbicides when people are swimming at the swim beach. So it's
I
just
thought
kind of standard practice.
A concern though is movement. So, say the herbicide is applied and then somebody comes by with their boat. And then, because this is where it's a targeted application, if somebody comes in with their boat right after it's applied and just brings it all over the lake, it's not going to be very effective. I didn't realize that we wouldn't be able to shut down the boat launch when this happens.
If I can add to this, we would shut down the town beach for that. The plan would obviously be before or after the swim season starts, but we don't have any authority to shut the lake down. I guess I would ask, I know they use these herbicides on Hickory Hills and I think Lake Shirley as well. So I'm just kind of curious as to what they do.
I mean, when Solitude comes before us, they don't, I know Lake Shirley does have a public boat launch, but that is controlled, I think, by the campground that's there. And then Hickory Hills, they don't have a public boat launch. So when they do the herbicide treatments, they typically stop all movement on the lake. So I live on Lake Whalum. I live far away from the public beach, but when a boat goes by, the waves are just everywhere. So, and I lived on a lake before this in Framingham, and when they did this, they would shut down, and half of it was in Ashland and half of it was in Framingham, but they would shut the lake down for the day just because any movement is just it's gonna make it kind of useless if you're putting in herbicides and then you don't get that targeted treatment, and then it's not really gonna do anything.
Well, let me just jump in here because I think the two that we're using have a very short contact time that's required. So it's understood by the applicator that the herbicides are not just going to stay exactly in the place where they're putting them. They do break down pretty quickly anyway. They have a pretty short half-life. But I guess the success of the treatment for these particular herbicides is not, we're not anticipating it will be impacted at all by boat traffic, wind, anything like that. I think the applicator would avoid going out on a really bad weather day, obviously, but other than that, there's really no practical concern for dilution of the herbicide and having it not be effective.
When is the plan for this to happen? Do we have a date already in mind, or?
So we don't have a date in mind. I've been trying to get this permitted for almost 2 years, struggling with previous contractors. So our thoughts are really depending on approval. This year we may do something in the fall, but it all depends on when the leaves start growing. The beach is typically open during summer vacation, so that's our priority to have it in the best condition at that point.
Okay. Do we have any questions for members of the commission?
Yes.
Okay, Teddy.
You may have already answered this, but how does this project address the eutrophication? Is it just that it has a short half-life and it only affects certain species?
So the eutrophication has to do with excessive plant growth and growth of exotic non-native species. So it's addressing that part of it. And to some extent, the hand harvesting pulls a small amount of nutrients out when you remove the biomass. But that's going to be pretty small compared to the size of Lake Whalum. So.
Okay, and then I had another question. What was the name of the herbicide again? There was Procelicor, and what was the other one? I didn't quite catch it.
It has different trade names, but the two most common are Tribune and Reward.
All right, thank you.
And we included the labels in the application, so if you want to dive into the details, that info is in there.
Great.
It looks like, is Tribune also an algicide?
It's not primarily used that way. It may have some impact on algae, but it's not really primarily used that way.
Okay.
Or it won't be for this project.
It looks like it says Tribune is a fast-acting herbicide and algicide that desiccates plant tissue on contact. All right, Chris St. Germain, you have a question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, I can look at the list, but I've heard that some herbicides can have contaminants like PFAs. Do you know if these have been looked at for contaminants, these herbicides? Have they been vetted?
Yeah, I mean, they've been vetted, they've been approved and not only by EPA, but through the process in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So, and Procelicor is a really, really new one that's only been out in the market for just a few years in Massachusetts. So, you know, it had to go through probably a more complicated process than a lot of herbicides in the past.
Okay, great, thank you.
So, I see that iPad has their hand raised. Are you a member of the public?
Yes, I am.
So I'm just gonna have you hold your comment until I ask for members of the public comments. Thank you.
Public comments or comments on this hearing?
Comments on this hearing. So we're only
Okay,
taking comments on this hearing right now.
Yeah.
But
that's
right now we're
fine.
strictly on the commission, and then we'll move on to members of the public.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So for the boat launch, that's in Leominster, right?
Correct.
And then, but it's owned by the state. It's controlled by the state. The whole lake is controlled by the state. Most of it's in Lunenburg. A little bit of it is in Leominster. And does Leominster also have anything to do with this, or is it just Lunenburg? It's only going through Lunenburg just because the whole area is in Lunenburg?
No, actually, we're going to be filing in Leominster as well. And as part of the abutter notification, since there were abutters on the Leominster side, they've already received notification for this hearing too. So
Okay.
we haven't filed yet in Leominster, but that's pending.
Okay. What was the abutter? Because I feel like abutters in Leominster would be pretty far from this property? There were abutters notified from Leominster?
There are some along the southwestern shoreline, right near the boat
Okay.
launch.
Okay. Do we have any other questions from members of the commission? Does not appear so. I'm going to move on to questions from members of the public. iPad 2, can you state your name and your address?
Sure, on the Lockwood 91 Main Street. So a couple things. When just as a couple comments, and then I'll have a question. When Lake Shirley does their application, they recommend people to not get out, but although there is a public launch that they can close, it is not the same as Hickory Hills. I'm not sure if, like, for example, not everyone in Lake Shirley participates on the revenue model that they have to participate in the lake. So I don't think that they are able to completely shut down the lake. I think they ask residents not to. The area where they will be applying these herbicides is actually a very secluded area that is, cordoned off for swimming. And as a former Parks Commissioner and someone who was on the commission, trying to, getting the revenue, getting some funding for this project, I'm very excited that, we finally are in a place to do this. The town beach has been around and serving the public in Lunenburg for well over 50 years. And this is unfortunately the first time we are having to do a treatment. And the biggest concern is safety. If a child goes underneath, it's more difficult for a lifeguard to see it, spot it, and bring them up. So I ask you guys to, really think about the safety of our residents as you continue your discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other comments from members of the public? I am not seeing any. And as far as asking for a 5-year order of conditions versus the typical 3-year order of conditions, what would the ramifications be if we were to just say a 3-year order of conditions? Would we have to, so that would mean that the town would have to go obviously through the NOI process again. It feels tough to approve something for 5 years, not seeing what the results are.
I can jump in on that one. Our only goal
please.
was we're hoping for the 5 purely because of how much I struggle with the previous contractor. I won't say who it is because I know they work in town. But just the cost to the town. Every time I need a consultant to come in front of you, it's costing taxpayers between $5,000 to $10,000. So that's the only reason we'd ask for 5.
Okay, so
And 5 is I guess, just from my experience, 5 is fairly standard for these kinds of projects because we're not, developing a parcel or building anything that's a discrete project. It's kind of an ongoing management program. And so I think that's another reason why I would suggest it's a little bit different than your typical application.
okay, Chris, I was actually going to ask you a question, but I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, I would imagine that like the other lakes, they'll do annual reports. So I don't really have a problem with the 5-year. I think there's no obviously malintent here. So I feel I don't personally don't have reservations on the 5-year.
Okay. But that is a good point. I was just going to ask you if you had any question, if you had any, just having been through so many of these, while you're on the commission. That is a good point about the annual report. Do you provide an annual report like the other lakes? The other lakes use a company called Solitude, and they provide an annual report to us. Do you also do that?
Oh, we're not
Well,
contract to do it right now, but Chris, go ahead. I think
I
you're
would
gonna say
say,
something.
these guys are the consultants. They don't actually do the treatment work. So whoever we hire to do the treatment will make sure that they provide reports annually to the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
I can't hide from the agent. Her office is directly above mine.
Okay.
And that wasn't in the application too, you know, there's a little blurb about monitoring program. Obviously, if you're treating plants, you have to know where they are and whether what you did was effective. So that's just got to be a part of the program.
Yeah, Jenny, they actually usually have a special meeting because they take so long. It's very
Yeah.
it's very detailed and thorough. So yeah, I think we're good.
I see Jay Simeone, you have your hand up. Can
Yeah.
you state your address for us?
362 Sunset Lane in Lunenburg. I live on Lake Shirley.
Yes.
Lake Shirley does close the lake for the day. Shady Point Campground, which has the boat launch, closes for the day. We advertise heavily. We have good cooperation from the residents, and the lake is closed to all activity for the day. It's my understanding part of that, the purpose is for this subsurface treatment for the chemicals to actually settle and attach to the plant. And my other question is this the actual weed treatment map? Are they treating the whole lake, or are they just treating the beach area?
Yeah, the focus is on the beach area for now. That's kind of the driver of the project. We did map plants throughout the lake just so we have a good baseline idea of where they are and can track that over time.
Okay. And then as far as not being able to close down the boat launch, is that just like a hard and fast rule, or is that something that we could reach out to the state to do in conjunction somehow?
So I'd be happy to reach out to the state as well as Leominster, because they technically control the boat ramp. But with no association on Whalum, we have, no authority. We can ask people, but we can't tell someone that has their own boat, you can't use it in front of your house. You know what I mean? It's, like Lake Shirley, I'm sure has an association that they, the members of that certainly are going to listen, but it's a challenge. I'm happy to do the best we can. I just don't know that we have the authority.
It would fall under the association to enforce that if there was one. Obviously, there's not one on Lake Whalum. But will there be notifications to people who live on Lake Whalum that, I think that everybody that lives on this lake, being myself, is aware of the plants that are on the lake. We don't love it. And I think that if somebody were to say, hey, we're going to do an herbicide treatment and we really need you to make sure that the lake is as still as possible, I think that people would be happy to, do that for a day. But will there be any notifications of that sort, or?
What my thought would be posted on the town website as well as the town social media, to get the word out that way. Another certified abutters list is possible, but it's, just the postage alone could be another $500 to do that, each time. So, looking at tax dollars, I would rather just go with the website and the social media.
Okay, Jay Simeone, you have your hand up again.
Yes. When are they looking to do this this work? The time frame?
Doesn't sound like there is a set date. Looks like maybe they're looking for the fall. It looks like you're doing after the beach closes for the year.
That's correct. The beach closes on Saturday. We actually were just able to reopen it because of the bacteria counts, but the plan would be either in the fall if we were approved in time. I didn't know if it would be approved or not. And then if not, it would be in the springtime before the beach opens up is when we would attack it. And, my understanding is, each weed has a, early June or whatever they come out, you kind of have to time it with when they're growing.
Jay, you still have your hand up?
Is that for the suction harvesting, or is that for the chemical treatment?
That would be for both. I think depending on the growth and when we have approvals and my contract is available, I may not even start this until the spring. Just like I said, where the beach is closing, how much money do we want to sink into this year versus getting it ready for next year?
Yeah, generally when we do chemical treatment, it's usually beginning of July when the weeds are growing.
Yeah, I had no intention of the chemical treatment this season. It would be next season for sure.
Okay,
And usually, when we do chemical treatment, DEP has flyers that we have to post around the lake.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
and that's my
usually
experience on my
that's
last
usually
lake.
done by the treatment contractor. They'll post the lake.
I know on Lake Shirley, the association handles it.
Okay, is that is that the rest of your questions, Jay? Okay,
Yep.
Chris St.
Yes.
Germain.
Jenny, I think we could probably still, as a town, post that. And no, they can't enforce it, but I think most people that are on the lake are gonna, abide by it, knowing that,
Yeah.
why they're doing it. So I wouldn't get too hung up on the people, tearing up the lake when they do the application. I think people will be mostly respectful of the,
As long as it's posted and they're aware of it. That's
yeah.
the issue, because I mean, I live on this lake and people go like 60 miles an hour across this lake. And you can see like the waves on this lake are unbelievable.
You can ask the town to put up one of those signs, those flashing signs, you could put it right up there so that you could see it. We could talk to the town about it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it's gonna be an expensive application, so they should definitely,
Right.
advertise.
As I'd hate to see the money wasted,
Right,
because if one boat goes through or jet ski,
Yeah.
they're jet skis, right? Yeah. Okay. So, all right. And we don't have any, so this is all, reactive. There's no plan just because the boat launch is in Leominster. A big part of this is that boats come in and they bring their plants in on their engine. So there's nothing in this about trying to prevent that. It's more just reacting to what's already there.
That's correct. Again, we have zero control whatsoever of the boat ramp as far as Lunenburg is concerned.
Okay. Do we have any other questions from members of the commission, members of the public? Okay, so I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve. But I would like to put conditions that there is an annual report showing what was done and showing any progress like the other lakes do. Did any other commissioners have any thoughts on that or anything they'd like to add?
I agree with that and I approve with those conditions. So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself, and that is an approval with the special condition that there be an annual report showing what was done in the previous period and what the plan is for the upcoming period and any progress that we've seen. Does that work? Oh, that we approved it, so.
That sounds great. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very
everybody
much.
who participated. Have a great night. All right. Moving on to pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws. A public hearing on a request for determination of applicability by Richard Paquette for the construction of an artesian well in between the 30-foot and 50-foot buffer zone. Previous water was connected to Fitchburg and now needs to be in Lunenburg. This is at 1178 Northfield Road. Do we have the applicant or their representative on the call?
Yes, if you can hear me, this is Richard Paquette. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. We're trying to drill an artesian well, and we are next to the wetlands. The well will be about 50 feet from the wetlands with a flag that are flagged, and the trench going to the house goes about 30 feet away from the wetlands. And the septic system is 115 feet from the well, and this is really the only place on the entire lot where we can drill a well. And
Yeah.
originally the house was the house next door to us, which was in Fitchburg, was owned by my grandmother. So when my mother and father built the house, they just ran a pipe from my grandmother's basement to their basement. And for 75 years, they shared the bill for the water bill. And now that the house is going to be put up for sale, we have to, Fitchburg refused to run a line into Lunenburg. And so we need to drill an artesian well.
Okay. Do you have anything that you would like to share with us, or would you like me to share anything for you? I do have a site plan that I could bring up if you'd like me to.
Yes, you can bring the site plan up if you can.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Uh, Zoom just freaked out on me. There we go. Okay, so
Oh,
this
there it
is.
is.
Yeah. So and
Now,
I do
as-
remember we had on your property, we were out there not that long ago for the septic.
Right, that's correct. And as you can see, the well is 60 feet from the street, 50 feet to the wetlands, and then the trench that goes to the house will be about 30 feet from the wetlands. And we have our straw wattle in place, and it's staked. So it's kind of all set to go. We just need the go-ahead from the Conservation Commission.
Okay. Do we have any? I'm gonna pull up. I have a.
And of course, we have the
Picture.
permit from the SHOBA.
Okay. So, and then this is we were out on a site walk this weekend. And then this is the area.
Right.
There's the straw wattle.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any questions from members of the commission?
Well, that's a good sign.
Chris has a question.
Yes, I was wondering, how deep is the well gonna be?
Well, when they start to drill the well, we hope it in this area, the wells have been going about 180 feet deep, but we never know
Yeah,
until
okay,
they start to drill.
all right.
Do we have any other questions from members of the commission? Do we have any comments from members of the public? Okay, this one is pretty straightforward. Oh, Chris.
Yeah, Jay, the only thing I'm concerned about is if he doesn't go deep enough, it could actually affect the wetlands. So I'm just hoping I hope it's not a shallow well. I mean, I know he can't tell me, but I've heard that artesian wells can actually impact wetlands. So, I mean, of course,
Okay.
I need your water.
Well, in the houses in the area, as I live here and I built houses in these, we were going down roughly 180 to 200 feet.
Okay.
I'm sure that I've never heard of the well would have to go down 10 feet or 20 feet to affect the water. I've never even heard of an artesian well going that shallow, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm just looking this up. Okay.
The issue is, you know, like you said, that it's probably gonna go deep, but if it was a shallow well, like I used to live on a lake. My in-laws lived on a lake and they had this really shallow well in the backyard. I'm not saying that that's what you're gonna have. I just know if it's shallow, it could impact. But like if your surrounding neighbors are going deep like that, then we should be okay.
Right. And when they're drilling an artesian well, I understand that the first casing goes down until they hit ledge.
Okay.
So it's a steel casing as far as they have to go down to hit ledge. And then beyond that, they're just drilling.
Okay.
So a steel casing going down to ledge pretty well seals the artesian well. Otherwise, the wetlands could go into the well, I suppose.
Oh,
in
that's a
that
point
theory.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no further questions, Jenny. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions? Okay, and thank you for all that, Chris. I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Chris with the motion and Teddy with the second. Roll call vote. Teddy Doucette.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, wait, hold on. I'd be looking for a negative determination. This is an RDA. So, motion to approve a negative determination or to negatively determine.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay. So that is a negative determination, which means that there's nothing else that you have to do with the
Okay.
commission. I know it
And do I
sounds.
need any to pick up any paperwork or a special permit from the office or
No,
no?
yeah, we've, it's a negative determination, which means that, it's not applicable to anything that is under jurisdiction, so you're free to, you don't
Start
need a
drilling.
special permit for it.
All right, very good. We thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Okay, thanks.
Explained that correctly, but, okay, up next, pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability by John Trainer for the replacement of a failing deck. It's the only egress from the home between the 30-foot and 50-foot buffer zone. Do we have the applicant or the representative on the meeting?
I, John Trainer, am the applicant, and I'm here.
Okay, there you are. All right, I am going to make you a co-host in case there's anything that you would like to share. Would you like to go over the project with us or share?
I
anything
don't
on the
have
screen?
anything to share, but I'd be happy to just sort of explain what the project is.
You can have state your address first, John.
105 Horizon Island Road in Lunenburg.
Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
And I did submit a plan where the builder who is present submitted a plan with the building inspector. So there is something on file. But so it's an existing deck that's 35 years old or so, and it's the only way in or out of my house. And it's getting to be in rough shape. And all I really want to do is replace what's there with something that's new and maintenance free. And at the expense that I'm going through, it would be better to start with foundations and support structure that is to current code, because what is there right now is not to current code. So it would mean digging 5 new sonotube holes and filling them with concrete. So I am surrounded by water where I live. I just had a septic system replaced 1.5 years ago. It was quite an ordeal to get that done. And so really it's just a matter of, the 3 or 4 days it's going to take to dig the holes, get them inspected, and get them filled with concrete is the only time that the soil is going to be disturbed. And we're happy to put something like straw wattles around the 35 feet that it takes to protect it. I was reading up about silt fences. I don't really think a silt fence is a great idea. I know from when they did the septic system and they were grading in that area, they really couldn't go down into the ground at all because there's a massive oak tree there. There's some big pine trees and they were hitting roots. And you have to dig a trench to put the silt fence in. I don't really think there's a great risk of a lot of silt or earthen material getting into the lake. As soon as they're finished with the foundation, I'll mulch everything so it all stays in place. Any questions?
So I'm just looking at, let me share my screen. I'm gonna pull up the site plan. Or the deck plan. Okay.
Oh,
So this is the plan, and this is exactly the same footprint as what exists right now, right?
yes.
Okay. And then I have some pictures that I took while we were out on site. Maybe. Okay. So this is the portion of the deck that's closest to the water.
Yes.
And then this is the portion of the deck that's furthest away from the water. Well, the water kind of goes around like this.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm surrounded by 700 feet of waterfront. Before the septic system was replaced, I was an island because there was a culvert under the driveway. So it's really hard to not be, everything I do, I'm within almost the 50-foot zone.
Yeah. My entire property is within the 100 foot, so I know how that is. Okay, so do we have any questions from members of the commission? Now, is this from when the septic was done?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the as-built for the septic system. And the blue line is the shoreline of Hickory Hills Lake.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And so, we would protect that. It's actually the east side. It's the upper part of the map with some kind of straw wattle or something while the earth is disturbed when they're working on the deck. I mean, that line where your cursor is where the siltation barrier was when they were doing the construction. And right in that section is the last of the grading that they had to do to take water away from the house. And they really couldn't scrape anything right there. It's taken me a year to get anything to grow back in that area.
Okay, so do we have any questions from members of the commission? Sorry if I missed it. What material will you be using for the deck?
The materials?
Yeah.
I mean, the substructure is going to be pressure treated lumber to code. And then the decking itself is going to be a PVC composite.
Okay.
Yep. I'm getting too old to do maintenance on my deck.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't seem like we have any questions from members of the commission. Do we have any questions from members of the public? It does not appear that we do. Okay, so I would be looking for a negative determination. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right. We will send a negative determination, so that means you are able to move forward with your project.
All right, thank you all very much.
Enjoy your new
Thank
deck.
I hope
Have a
to.
good
Thank you.
Okay. Now we are moving on to continued public hearings. Um, Pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have a public hearing on a notice of intent by Tanner Cole for construction of a common driveway to service 4 single-family dwellings to be served by private wells and an on-site sewage disposal systems involving the crossing of a bordering vegetated wetland in 2 locations with all proposed dwellings and private driveways outside the 100-foot buffer zone. Do we have the applicant or their representative on the meeting?
Yes, Madam Chair, Ryan Proctor with Dillis and Roy.
Okay, welcome again.
Thank you again.
And then
Um,
you are still a co-host, so you should be able to share.
Okay, I actually don't have anything to share immediately. I just had a quick update. We did receive the proposals back for the peer review that the commission had requested. Herlin had sent over a quote from Graves Engineering, Ecotech, and BSC Group, all for the review of the wetland crossings and wetland area resources on the property. I believe the commission has to vote on this. I would just express the applicant's preference on these. If the commission is agreeable, would be to go with Graves Engineering for 2 reasons. One, they were the most economical, but 2, and more importantly, they are familiar with the site as they are currently peer reviewing the project as part of the planning board stormwater permit and site plan review process. So they've already seen the site, they've seen the site plans, they're familiar with the property. So that would be the applicant's preference, provided the commission is agreeable to that. So that's all I have right now. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Okay, so as far as that goes, I think I would be looking for Ecotech. Graves is not typically environmental
Okay.
design. But again, I'm just one member. So that would be, like I said, it was Graves, Ecotech, and who was the third?
BSC Group.
Okay, and they came back with a very high.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So the Ecotech would be our number 2 if we had.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think I would prefer Ecotech just because I think it would make sense to, in my opinion, not actually have the same person doing, not the same vendor doing the peer review for this as for the planning board. But
Okay.
again, that's just me. So do we have any comments on that from members of the commission?
I would follow your lead on this, Jenny.
Okay,
Ditto.
okay. So I think we would vote on who to move forward with. So I would be looking for a motion to move forward with Ecotech as the, does this sound right? Or am I doing this right?
Yeah, no, I think you're fine. Yep.
Okay, all right, so motion to approve or move forward with Ecotech as the vendor for the peer review. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. So Ecotech will be the vendor for the peer review. And then the other thing that you wanted to do is continue.
Yes, please. Yep.
Okay, then that would be, would you be looking to continue until September 3rd, or would you like to push it out a little bit further to wait for the peer review?
Yeah. Let's go with the 3rd if you don't mind. Just
absolutely.
to be optimistic, and then if we happen to not have anything, we'll just request a continuance again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'm looking for a motion to continue to September 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, we will see you September 3rd, hopefully.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, up next. Pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have a public hearing on a notice of intent by Sean Farrow for the construction of 2 landscape replacement walls, placement of 2 removable decks, and replenishment of beach sand within the 100-foot, 50-foot, and 30-foot buffer zone of a wetland resource area on Lake Shirley. Do we have the applicant or their representative on the line?
Good evening, Madam Chair. Matt Morrow, representing Sean Farrow. If I could share my screen.
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this was uploaded to your portal last week, I believe actually last Thursday. When we last left off, the commission asked for 2 final things on the plan. That was to remove the stone here that he had proposed adding and to remove this dock. That was basically it. So I had those removed and I had those sent back to the portal with the newly revised plan.
Okay, so we're just replacing the wall to, if you're
To
looking
where
at
it
the beach
exists.
from the water, just to where it exists.
Just to where it exists. Any like the NOI was originally for this wall
There
and
it is,
to
okay, yeah.
replace these existing areas here. Yeah,
Okay, and then just 2 docks.
that's correct. Well, yeah, this one is retroactive. This one was pre-existing. He wanted to add a 3rd one here. And you guys said historically there were 2 docks, so we're just going to leave it with 2 docks.
Okay. Do we have any questions, or are you all set, Matt, or do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it. The commission had asked for changes on the details on the plans, so I had all that put in as the commission requested, and then Mr. Farrow had asked about maybe adding this to the scope of the work. The commission said no, and they wanted this dock taken off, so that's what we did. So that's it, basically.
Right. Do we have any questions from members of the commission?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we saying we're? Yeah, I'm just not following you, Matt. So are you saying that you're not doing something? Or what was the change? Can you just help me out again with this?
Okay, so Commissioner, the last time we were here, my client had asked me to add a section of new wall here.
Right.
Where he had a slope with junipers on here.
Yeah.
The commission said no because it went within the 30-foot zone.
Yeah.
And you asked me to remove it. At the same time, the original NOI also had a 3rd dock here, which was still on the plans. The commission decided they didn't want a 3rd dock in the water.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
no, it's not
asked
the dock part. So that black dotted line is showing that it doesn't exist anymore.
That's the actual 100-year flood elevation.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, do we have any other questions from members of the commission? Do we have any questions from members of the public? All right, I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve. This is what we asked for.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote. Teddy Doucette.
Aye.
Chris St. Germain.
Aye.
Andrea Burnap.
Aye.
And I for myself. All right. Approved.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a good night, Matt.
Hey, thanks. You too, guys.
Okay, up next we have administrative determinations. We have 167 Townsend Harbor Road. Do we have the property owner or the resident on
Yes,
the
I'm-
call?
Yes, I'm on the call.
Okay, let me I'm just gonna pull this up in OpenGov and see what Harlan's notes are. And then if there's anything you would like, let me give you the ability to share. And can you state your name and your address?
Steve Wright, 167 Townsend Harbor Road.
Okay.
I
is there any-
uploaded any of the requested documentation. I mean, I guess in a nutshell, if you took a aerial picture of the property, you could just barely see a house. It would be the only thing you could see. Um, I purchased the house 10 months ago, so I'm again not entirely familiar with the processes or how things work here in Massachusetts or Lunenburg. But I guess the issue at hand is I acquired a property that needs a lot of cleanup, right? So I had mold problems, some pretty severe carpenter ant infestations from all the decaying wood. And worst of all, the house was deemed uninsurable by Allstate because they're really at the crossroads where they get so many property damage related to trees, they just didn't want to insure the house at all. So I was actually without insurance for, over a month. When I brought out a tree expert, to my surprise, he not only recommended taking down the 3 that are dead, but an additional 16. Just about half of those are just like half dead, so they're hollow or compromised at the the base of the tree and are imminently going to fall or cause some damage. And the other were just like, ones that are, present significant risk to the house or neighboring structures. That's not my house.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of some of these tabs because
Okay.
OpenGov opens in a new tab every attachment that you open. And I was getting a little out of hand there.
So
So I want to go back to just
that was
here.
kind of it in a nutshell. There's 54 trees in total on the property.
Okay.
54, you
So-
said?
54, yes.
So, let me just read. So Harlan has notes. Several mature trees on the property show significant decline, structural instability, or dangerous lean toward the applicant's home, neighboring properties, and accessory structures. Work is within or near the buffer zone to a resource area. Removal of hazard trees and trimming is recommended, with stumps to remain in place and low impact methods used to avoid buffer zone disturbance. And
I
we
guess
have some
I'm sorry.
pictures. Oh yeah, but you.
My
What were you gonna
preference
say?
is that, like I said, the house and the property's been let go for a significant time. My preference is that it's going to be very expensive because it's going to be a lot of labor, to haul everything out and have, somebody climb and do all that work. My preference is just to kind of not just tear the Band-Aid off a little bit, is to do it right. So I'm not coming back next year and the year after. Um, just from a pure economic standpoint.
Okay, so and it's 19 trees total, but you have 54 on the property.
Yes.
Okay, let me go through.
Like I said, 3 of them are clearly dead. About half of the other 16 are, I think I marked it up on the actual map like was requested as well.
This that I just called up?
No.
No.
One of the follow-ups was that I put it on the,
Is it a PowerPoint?
no, it was
Okay.
the actual map that you guys wanted it on. I'm sorry if I don't remember the name of it.
So I have a diagram and then I have a map and additional.
That's
It appears
probably it.
it says it's a
Maybe.
PowerPoint though.
Oh, I think
Oh,
it's in the
no.
diagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got a nice presentation here.
We don't see
All
it.
right. So let me get out of the way. There we go. And then let me move this out of the way for myself. Okay, so we have a little narrative.
I'm not seeing a
We're not seeing it,
PowerPoint.
Jenny.
You're not seeing it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
see
hold
it
on.
in the window.
Let me change my screen. PowerPoint. How is that? Do you have a PowerPoint now?
Black screen. Hold on, maybe it's taking a second to come up. There we go.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So, battle with Allstate over cancellation of home insurance, ability to control our current carpenter ant issues, imminent risk of property damage to home and neighboring properties, acorn drop is significant, and long-term safety for homes. And then this is a picture of, so green are healthy trees, black are dead
Yes.
trees, red are very unhealthy trees, and yellow are Mostly unhealthy trees, is that right?
They're so thick that nothing can grow properly. So the ones in yellow are ones that, you know, they're okay, right? But you know, they're kind of causing issues because nothing can grow properly. There's just no space for anything to go.
Okay,
So it would be ones that I would probably be coming back in, you know, 1 to 2 years and saying, "Oh, help me again." So
okay. And then we have some pictures.
so the bottom is what most of the, you know,
Yeah,
not the dead ones, but the like the 9 to 10 that are just clearly just, you know, accidents waiting to happen.
yep. Okay. Do we have any questions from
Can I
members of the
see the, can I see
commission?
the middle diagram again?
Yeah. So lots of healthy trees.
Yep, yeah, yeah.
And the goal would be just to clean all that up because like right now I pummel the neighbors with acorns, especially on the house to the right and the left, just get their automobiles pummeled.
Okay. Andrea, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed. Who was it that made this determination?
I hired well, excuse me, I brought tree people out that know more about trees than I do.
Do you know the company, the name of the company?
I'd have to look that up. I believe that
Jay's
it's probably on
trees.
this form.
So you have here,
Yep,
Jay's.
Jay's Tree Service. They
Okay,
specialize
thank you.
in nothing can access the property. So it's going to have to all be done by climbers and then hauled out
Removing,
because I've got 4 dogs that you know, and it's so the house is fenced, so it's gonna all have to be hauled out. It's a major expensive proposition.
so which colors are you removing? The red and the black? And the yellow?
I I would love to be able to remove the dead, which is in the black, and I would love to be able to remove the, you know, the red, which is again the trees that are compromised and clearly like, you know, halfway there. I would love to do the yellow ones because again, it's just like I said, just would be pulling the Band-Aid off
Yeah,
quarter of the way. I've got nothing against trees and want to respect the, you know, the wetlands area and the beauty of the lake. That I mean, that's why I bought this lot. It's just been let go.
Okay. And then Christine Germain, you
yeah,
have your hand up and I, oh,
yeah,
so sorry.
in my opinion, he's got plenty of trees here, so I don't have an issue with the removal of the ones he wants to remove because he's got just a good abundance of trees. So I personally don't have an issue with that.
Okay. And then, I'm just gonna, I pulled up a map. I, I guess I haven't changed my settings to Google Maps, so it's a Bing map. But this is, you know, an overhead of the property and what the trees look like from from an aerial view. Teddy, I saw that you had your hand up.
Yeah, my question was answered.
Okay. Um,
Everything's mainly in that, unfortunately, in that piece by the lake was where there's 75% of them, and they're all just one right on top of the other.
yeah. Okay, do we have any other concerns or questions from members of the commission? Um, I would be looking for, I mean, this is an administrative determination, but I guess we would approve it. I'd be looking for a motion to approve. But with the condition that the stumps are left and grinded and that we use minimally invasive, what was it that Herland's, let me pull up her verbiage again, because it was good.
It was minimally invasive methods.
Yes. That is site visit. So, work is within or near the wetland. Removal of hazards, okay, so I would recommend that we approve, looking for motion to approve removal of hazard trees, trimming recommended with stumps to remain in place and low impact methods used to avoid buffer zone disturbance.
So
Do,
Second.
okay, roll call vote, Christine Germain,
I
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, that is an approval to remove the trees as necessary. And then just make sure that the stumps are left and that they use minimally invasive.
Again, I apologize for my own ignorance. I'm just not familiar with the area enough to, is there a next step after this or is?
Is there a next step after it? We don't typically do the administrative determinations. Usually our administrator does that. It comes in. Does she follow up with them? Do you know, Chris?
No, I don't know.
I'll make sure.
I think he gets, I thought he got something like in the mail and then he's good to go. I'm not sure though.
Okay. I will check with our administrator and our office admin and just make sure that somebody reaches out to you and let you know what next steps are.
Okay, I did get an email that said it passed and she agreed with the assessment, but okay. All right,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thanks so much. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. We have no extension request permits. Certificates of compliance. So, we still have quite a few members on, 2 members of the public on, I think 2 are probably for certificates of compliance. Looks like there's a lot of people though. Let me go through this. Okay, so up first we have 701 Reservoir Road. Do we have the property owner or applicant on the call?
Yep, I'm on the call.
Okay, let me just pull up the notes from our administrator. And it says 701. Can you state your name and your address, please?
Yep, my name is Christopher Coffin. I live at 701 Reservoir Road.
Okay. Let's see. I don't. Application review. Let's see, a meeting was scheduled. I don't have any notes on this one though. Did Herlin meet you out on site? It looks like she was out on August 18th.
No one ever showed up.
Oh. Okay. Let me check meeting notes.
I know, so when we completed the wall, Sophia came out back in January, told me to submit some things we did, and then we haven't heard back, and then I just got an email saying that I was ready for a meeting, for this one.
Okay. Let me just see if I can find 2025 meeting materials. I don't have any notes on this. Attachment. All right, so it looks like you replaced a railroad tie wall with a Graves recon wall.
Sophia did take pictures of it. I assumed you guys would have them.
Was that when she was out for a certificate of compliance?
I believe so. Yeah, I called her to tell her it was completed, and she came out to do all that.
Give me just 1 second. I'm just looking for notes if I can find any anywhere. Um, Okay, and you filed this. So you filed back in April for this, on April 12th. Okay. Um, I'm gonna send the administrator a message. And do you mind just holding on and then I'll come back to you after she responds to me, just because I know you've been waiting a long time, so I want to see if I can get this wrapped up for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Chris, do I need to continue that to move on? It's not technically a hearing. What do you think? All right, I'm gonna move on.
Sorry, I
I'd
was
like
on
to-
mute. Jenny, were you not able to find the COC? Is that the issue?
I can't find any notes on the COC from Herlin. So I don't feel comfortable
Okay,
um saying that we can issue a COC without notes from the administrator, without without any of the commissioners having seen it either.
okay,
So I'm just checking in with Herlin,
okay,
and that way I can just move on to the next one, see if we
Yeah.
have notes for this one.
okay,
And then that way, we don't have to ask him to come back.
yeah,
Unless other people would like to issue a certificate of completion, I don't think anybody, I mean, there's just one person, I wouldn't be comfortable doing that without somebody seeing it or recommending it, but
yeah. No, okay. I was just trying to also search, so I wasn't sure.
yeah. If you find anything, please let me know.
Yeah.
It looks like these were added to the schedule. Okay, so do we have the applicant from 155 Reservoir Road on? It's our next certificate of compliance. It does not appear that we do. Let me just look at who the property owner is on this. I'm not seeing this name here. Okay, all right, let's give it a few more minutes to see if Herling comes back and has any recommendations. And then, so if you don't mind just sitting on for a couple more minutes, but worst case, if we don't have any recommendations, what we could do is put it on the next meeting, Christopher, and you wouldn't have to come, but we could get a recommendation and then issue the we could vote to issue the certificate. You wouldn't have to be here. So we could just make sure it at least gets done on the next meeting if we can't get it done today. But I'll give Herlin a couple more minutes just so we could try to get it done for you tonight, if it's going to be issued. Okay, so put that on hold for a moment. As far as we don't have any new updates on violations, enforcements, no emergency certifications. We do still have quite a few people on the call. So we have John Tata. Is there? Can I ask what you're on the call for? Or you just didn't realize he's still on the call? Oh, hey.
Yes, I'm just watching.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
I just wanted, there were some cases there that may be something I need to know about in the future.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thanks for sticking with us. Okay, Debbie Consalvo. Were you on for something specific? I just want to make sure we don't miss what you're here for.
Yes, I got a notice that I would be on tonight's agenda for removal of trees at 102 Horizon Island Road.
Oh, okay. So you know what's fun? I was out at 105 Horizon, and is it Gravel property?
Nope, nope,
No?
it's Consalvo. We're all neighbors.
Oh, okay. So, let me take a look. I actually don't have you on the agenda. So let me take a look and see what.
It sounded like it was approved. It was just to get, I guess, final approval to have 3 trees removed.
Okay, site visit completed. Um. Okay. It's not on the agenda, but I do have notes in here. And I gotta be ready on the Zoom meeting, but I can't get on the site. I see that you have a note in here. Let me see notification of meeting date for August 20th. So you were at a meeting, Chris, as our senior commission member. This is for a administrative determination. It is not on the agenda, but there would not have been any notifications to abutters for this determination. Could we hear it? We have notes from Herlin. What do you think about that? We have a lot of notes and pictures.
Are you asking me if we can go forward without the abutter notification?
I know, well, there would be no abutter notifications
Oh.
for an administrative determination. So I'm trying to figure out, could we, while the applicant is here and she's been here all night and we have the.
I don't see how that would be an issue. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing's being recorded. It's on the up and up. We vote. So just because it's not on the agenda, I don't know why we couldn't.
Okay. All right. So, I'm going to, so this is an administrative determination for 102 Horizon Island Road. It is for, removal of trees. Let me just. Arbor's come to look at trees along our driveway, found several dead and damaged trees that could cause injury or damage. I'm going to share, okay, so, Debbie, can you just state your name again and your address?
Sure, it's Debbie Consalvo, 102 Horizon Island Road.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna share my screen and show Herlin's notes. So. Okay, so in the workflow, we have, well, here's an attachment with a diagram. This is the lake, this is the trees are to the side of the driveway, so you're right at the end of Horizon Island.
Yes.
And here are Herlin's notes.
Are they up? Or are you still clicking on them? Because we don't see them.
I'm still clicking.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So, tree one, hemlock, status dead. Observation, no foliage, bark damage consistent with borer infestation. Arborist notes, infested with hemlock borers, recommended for removal to prevent further spread. Tree two is a white pine, structurally compromised, vertical crack present, tall, narrow form, potential hazard in high winds. Risk of structural failure, recommended for removal. And then tree three is a red oak, sad, declining, evidence of past heavy pruning, visible water sprouts, possible carpenter ant activity. Arborist notes are poor recovery, structural concerns, recommended for removal. Based on the arborist letter and site conditions, the removal of the three trees appear appropriate. The applicant is advised to use low impact equipment during removal to minimize disturbance to buffer zones, soils, maintain or restore native understory vegetation where feasible, following removal. So
Is this Herland's notes or the
these are, this is Herland's notes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let me just pop up these pictures. So it looks like, is it this tree, and then is this two trees right here? So it's these four?
Yeah, there's two trees there. It's one of them.
Oh.
I think the thicker one is the one I put markers in front of them. I don't know if they're still there. It's hard to tell.
What else we have here? It's like all her pictures are focusing on these four trees.
Yeah, well, it's not that there. It's the do you see under August AUG there's a pole there? I put markers in front of the trees. One is by the compost bin.
That one's dead.
That one's actually all dead. And then there's one next to it that is structurally damaged.
This is the compost bin right here?
Yeah, that's that
Okay.
tree right there.
This one?
Yeah, that one's completely dead.
Okay. And then this one?
I want to say it's the one where you're pointing that's the last one. It's hard when I'm not outside.
So it's two by the bin and this
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, based on Herland's notes, I would be looking for a motion to approve. Oh, do we have any questions from members of the commission? Or I jumped the gun? It does not seem so. Okay, and so I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve based on Herland's notes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
Chris St. Germain,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, so that is approved and you can go ahead and remove those trees.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks so much for hanging with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a good night.
Too.
Okay, Carol Thorburn.
Hi, this is Carol Thorburn, 44 Hemlock Terrace. And we had put in a notice to have some trees removed. Right now in one of the latest windstorms, we have a tree with, not the tree itself, but a large branch on the roof right now, and it's in between two live power lines. I had a professional tree service, Iron Tree Service, come in to look at the tree, and they came around and they said there are several trees that I'm going to have a problem with that are leaning over the house and they need to be removed.
Okay, so it looks like
And I had gotten a notice saying we would be on today.
Okay, yeah, and it looks like the site visit was missed.
They didn't come. He said he was coming yesterday. I didn't realize.
Okay. Unfortunately with no notes,
Okay.
yeah, and no site visit.
Okay.
There's not much that we can do.
No. Yeah, I
as
just
far as
have the tree
well,
in between two live power lines that I'm a little nervous about. So,
yeah, do you have any pictures?
I sent them to you
Okay,
guys.
let me see what's here. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, so we got a diagram of, okay, so, and it's 11 trees.
Yeah, approximately. Like some of them are like attached to each other, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. So here's some photos. Okay. I get this out of my way.
Yeah, you can see that's the one that's on the house now. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see the power lines are on each side
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Let's see. We have here. So,
And then you can see that one's leaning over the garage.
okay.
I mean, they're really big.
And then let me, it looks like you have, okay, so is it one of these also that you're looking to remove?
Yeah, the one that's like leaning towards the porch, you can see.
This one
This
right
is
here? Or is it
yeah.
this one?
It's there. You can't really see, but it's the one sort of the closest to the porch. They're all marked in red markers by the tree service.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know I had tree issues until, I had a tree on the house and the tree service came in and said, you have some big problems. So,
Okay, so it looks like that was the same. All right, and in total, it was how many trees again?
and I don't have it exact, but it's around 11 ish. Like they're bigger trees though, but some of them are sort of like attached and then they go out to like one or two trees. You know what I mean? It's like, is it one tree or two? I don't understand how they marked it, but they're saying at about 11 trees in their proposal to us.
Okay. And then is this, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's two, there's two or three that are like literally over the house. They're very large trees.
Okay. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough information, I think, for us to make an informed decision. Does
Okay.
anyone have any other opinions on that?
I would agree.
Okay. So, I will make sure that you get on the next, agenda for September 3rd,
Yeah. Okay.
2025, and we'll make sure that somebody gets out there before then
Okay.
to, look at it, and I'm so sorry.
Okay. So just leave, I guess I have to hang out a little longer then, right? That's a
Yeah.
lot of, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, unfortunately, it's a lot of trees.
Yeah.
And, yeah, if it
One thing I think we can say, that branch, where you're not talking about taking down the tree. If you're worried about that branch because it's on your house, I don't think that's
Yeah.
Jenny, I don't think that's part of our jurisdiction. If you want to get that branch off now, you don't have to wait for us. I mean, it's just about taking the trees down, but that's a broken branch. It's a different story. You can
Yeah.
get that tree off your roof if you have to. If you,
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
if you don't want to wait till September 2nd, but the tree removal will have to wait.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but we'll definitely make sure that this gets sorted out before the next meeting. Somebody will come and take a look and see what the next steps would be.
Okay. Awesome. And
Okay.
somebody will notify me of the date.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so I have not heard anything back from our administrator, Christopher Coffin, unfortunately. So for you, what I can do is make sure that somebody gets out there to check for compliance.
Okay.
And we can get you on the next meeting. You wouldn't have to come to the meeting. You don't have to be here if it's approved. If there are any concerns, it can be put into OpenGov and be addressed in between the meetings. If there's any reason that it wouldn't be,
Yeah.
if the certificate of compliance wouldn't be issued. So, yeah, so we'll put you on the next meeting and then hopefully get that squared away for you.
All right, so they'll send me another email telling me when they're coming up to the property to take a look?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
And so sorry about that.
All right,
Thank you. Have a good night.
you too, thank you.
Okay, so I still have Jay Simeone on. Is it Simeone or Simeone?
Simeone.
And then you had spoken during the like the Whalum
Yeah,
hearing. Are you just hanging out or is there
I'm
was there
just observing.
okay, great. And then Joe Toole, is it Toole or Toole? You're still on. Do you mean to stay on?
That might be Pack.
Hello, this is Joe.
Hi, Joe. I just noticed
Hi.
that you're still on. Are you just hanging out too, or?
Well, I'm on because I need to stay on for the stream to work.
She's public access. She's doing the,
No, but typically you don't stay on.
I do for all the meetings.
Okay. I've never noticed that you've stayed on for the entire meeting before. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Are you going into executive session or something? Hello?
no, we're not.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for new business, we have
Have you asked Andrea if it was, you already asked her too?
asked Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea B.
Oh, that's Andrea Burnap.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know the name. Sorry, Andrea.
I was like, asked her what?
No problem.
Okay. Conservation updates. Mac classes. Mac Frenzy is in September. Highly recommend 101, 102. And then the Mac convention is October 25th. So would love to see everybody there. That is covered under our budget if you would like to go. It'd be really nice to have as many members of the commission as possible there. It's a great experience. And you learn there's a lot. They usually do like themes. So like one time it was stormwater. I'm not sure what this one is yet, but it's usually things that are topical.
It's on
to
Zoom,
whatever's-
right?
Huh?
It's virtual, right? Or is it in person?
No, the Mac the classes are virtual, like 101, 102, 103, but the convention is in person.
Oh,
It's at Devon's. So in the fall, it's at Devon's Convention Center. And then in the spring, it's at Holy Cross. So it's just like, just run like a regular convention. They give you lunch, there's snacks everywhere, there's vendors. It's a good time, and the food is good typically. But yeah, no, that one is in person because there's you can sign up either for 4 different classes, or you can sign up for 2 classes. So you do one before lunch, either 2 before lunch or 1 before lunch, and then 2 after lunch or 1 after lunch, depending on the length of the class. But 2 of your classes could be the ones that go toward the fundamental certificate, which would be like if you take 101 through 105, and then 2 of the 2 level classes.
Yeah, are we getting a spreadsheet together to like
Yeah, I have to have Herlin send one out. The only reason that I haven't had her send it out, I can have her send it out for the classes, like the virtual classes, but the MAC convention, typically when she would send it out, you would be choosing what classes you're going to take while you're there, and those haven't been released yet.
Okay.
But I'll make sure she gets out the spreadsheet for the Frenzy, because that starts like September 23rd, I think, or September 17th. So we're coming up on that. We still have a little time though. And those don't sell out because they're virtual. So we will get that out though. Does anyone else have any conservation updates? I don't have any budget updates because our budget is now kind of wrapped up in land use. No encroachment issues. Grants update would be Mary. Do you have anything on grants updates, Chris?
No.
Oh, I actually do have, conservation land improvement. I do have an announcement on that, which is that we are advertising on the United Way Day of Caring. We're setting up a trail work event at the Cowdrey Nature Center to repair some bridges and do some other trail work as needed. Chris is going to, or the Lunenburg Snow Riders Club is going to let us either borrow the UTV that they have, or ATV, or Chris was going to let us borrow his tractor, but you would be there to operate it, it sounds like,
Yes,
from the
either
email
way, I'll be
earlier.
there. Yeah, either way, either we'll use the ATV or the tractor. I reached out to Joe C today and see what he says, what he wants for equipment.
Okay.
So
And then I did see your email earlier, and it is only the half day. It's, I think, like 8 to 12 or something, and part of that is breakfast.
perfect.
So it will be a half day.
Great.
So that will be up on if any of the commission is interested in participating in that. It's gonna be like a trail work day, and it's at Cowdrey, and it will be September 19th, which is a Friday. So I'm still trying to figure out if I'm available. But that will be September 19th from 9ish to 1ish, but I'll send out a link to if anybody wants to sign up on the Conservation Commission.
I imagine it's
Um,
during the day, not like
Yeah.
during business hours. Okay.
It's during business hours. So yeah, I totally get that could be tough, because that is tough for me. I sit in meetings basically from 8:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night, and it's hard to get away. So, um, what else? Hollis Road residents, lease agreements and tenant responsibilities. Typically, Mike would, work that. We talked, giving us updates on that. He's not here. Committee reports. Chris, do you have anything from open space?
Well, we had a meeting, so that was exciting. Finally had we had a quorum. So it was myself, Michael Toohill, Colin Shapiro from Parks and Rec, Will Tillsworth from Planning Board, and myself from representing Conservation. The only really thing we voted on, we approved, was unanimous vote to make a recommendation to the Select Board not to exercise its right of first refusal for 2222 West Townsend Road. That piece of land was like 13 acres and didn't really check off any boxes for being a good piece of land. So it was kind of a unanimous vote to pass on first refusal. That was about it for that meeting.
Okay. And then, I think that we had actually voted on that one a while back as a commission to
Right.
not
Right, and I was
exercise
representing
that.
us. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Stormwater. We are possibly moving to 2 times a month just because we have a lot to get through. And you were done, Chris. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Were you
I'm done. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So stormwater utility, we are actually going to be working with a different consultant, trying to get things moving a little bit faster. And hoping to at least present something at the fall meeting. And that's kind of where we are. There's not much other than that to update. And then master plan steering committee, I've seen some communications from you, Teddy, about some input that you need from us. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, so can I share my screen?
Absolutely.
This is just a spreadsheet that they sent that they want us to fill out. Mary said that she would take it upon herself to work on this and probably ask. Can you see it?
Not yet. It's doing the same thing that Ryan did.
One moment.
Something's glitchy.
Yeah, I also sent it out in the email. It should be attached, and I can send it again if that is helpful for everyone. But essentially, it's just they're looking for like what falls under our jurisdiction, and if we have any comments for it. Can you see it? No.
Still nothing. You want me to try to share it?
Sure.
Okay. It's from the email.
Yes,
Keep
there's
opening
a
the wrong
or an
email.
Excel spreadsheet.
Go through my million tabs here. Hold on. All right, the over under MPSC, is that the one?
Concom master plan recommendations, committee feedback. There's a PowerPoint that I shared as well, and we can go over that too if you want to go over that first.
Where is? Here we go. Found it. Okay.
That works.
So
yeah, on the left you can see all the goals, which I was excited about. They all, I don't know, I think they're all noble goals for our town to have. Supporting a range of housing options for all ages and income levels, protecting farmland and farmers.
And then
build upon efforts to improve natural open spaces and recreational opportunities. Support community gathering spaces, foster safe and resilient town infrastructure. And the top row has like questions for us to answer for each of those goals. Is it controlled by our board's bylaws and policies? Do we have a bylaw or policy on this already? If yes, provide a source, etc. And Mary said that she would contact, I think it was like either Herlin or Michael Gale to see if we can get answers to these. And they're looking for us to send this back by October 1st, I believe. So we have some time, but I just want to get the ball rolling, bring it to everyone's attention.
Great. Yeah, so we'll have so if Mary and Michael can, and if or can get some of it going, and then maybe we meet again as a commission and go over what we have
Yeah.
during a meeting.
And we'll just have it one spreadsheet that we all kind of vote on, and I'll bring that to and we'll send it to the master plan steering committee.
Okay.
And all the other commissions that are involved that like were sent a copy of the spreadsheet and they'll fill it out as well and send it to the master plan steering committee.
Awesome. Yeah,
And
this is
then
all good stuff.
the PowerPoint is the over under about the plan, and we can go over that too pretty quickly.
Yeah, let me open that back up. Get this out of my way. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep scrolling. There's all right, so yeah, here's the app, like the surveys that they got from the town. So at the meeting, I don't remember the person's name who was kind of going over the PowerPoint, but he said that compared to other towns, we had pretty good feedback. And sorry, I'm not super well prepared to
Oh,
present
no, no
this, but
worries. So especially where half the commission's gone right now, it's we'll just kind of consider this like a quick overview, just so
yeah.
everybody knows
So if
what's
you
coming down the pipeline.
go back to that slide with the sorry, go down, and one more. Yeah, so this is kind of a good like graphic that they're gonna introduce with like each of our plans, and it's going to implement like what the cost, the time frame, and the number of goals that topic addresses in our master plan. So at the bottom, you can see like the 7 goals in our master plan, and prioritizing sidewalks and pedestrian infrastructure in commercial areas that checks 4 of the boxes.
Okay.
And
Cool.
so when we come up with like ideas of like what we want to include in our master plan, we're trying to balance everything between like the cost and like the number of um, aspects the number of boxes it checks off.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is great. I think we watched one of the master plan meetings back when we first moved here. It's very cool that we have a committee trying to take care of this stuff.
Yeah, and like when we were talking, I think Mary suggested like perhaps in like parking lots we could implement something like solar panels to cover the cars, so that gives shade to
Yeah.
the cars while also providing power to our public facilities.
Yep. And I loved that idea. You want me to keep scrolling?
Yeah, continue. And then these are just like feedback that we got from the town, suggestions that people brought to the master plan steering committee, and people can read them at their own pace.
Create a strategy for town-owned farmland, like community farms or something. Community
Yeah, like
gardens.
when I think about like the master plan steering committee and like what I would want to bring is an area where the community can gather, like a public park. And they brought up, what was it, Marshall Park, that was kind of shot down
Yeah.
a couple years ago. And it sounded like people
Instantly.
were like interested in it, but it was just kind of money was the reason why we didn't follow through.
Yeah.
But for me, the idea that I would want to bring is like a food forest area where people can gather and be in nature, and we can have like a town meeting area um, that perhaps connects to our like trails. And I was at the Acton Arboretum earlier this week, and it was kind of exactly what I would like to see in Lunenburg. Um, just people around the park surrounded by various fruit trees and native plants. They had a frog pond. It was all wheelchair accessible. It was just a really nice addition to their town that
Yeah.
I didn't know existed until earlier this week.
Yeah, it's very cool there. And free.
Yeah.
So can't beat that.
Yeah, keep scrolling. And keep scrolling. Yeah, just more recommendations from people for various for each of the topics. Yeah, develop community garden is on there. Large gathering space on town-owned properties.
I
Assess
think that was in the plan for the town hall. But that got delayed or shot down. There's gonna be some sort of a gathering space.
Yeah, it seems like money is like a big the big
Yeah.
limiting factor. Because like the school committee needs funding and Marshall, and the thing with Marshall Park I think they brought up was that they needed to update like certain infrastructure around that just got quickly ran up the tab, and so
Yeah.
they weren't able to follow through.
Lots of bike stuff. Are you seeing all this, Chris?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Continue to be a green community in good standing. So I think a lot of these are overlapping in nature.
Yeah.
And we can kill like 2 or 3 birds with one stone.
Actually ran this thing. I actually ran this through AI. I took your document and put it into AI, and I asked it to give me ideas that the conservation committee can get behind. It's pretty interesting. It took a lot of the information and gave me key takeaways and suggestions that we could employ. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. I think that's a reasonable use for AI.
Yeah, did a nice job going through like all 24 pages and pulling out the key points and stuff.
So yeah, we'll all come together again and we can brainstorm ideas and just make sure that we get this spreadsheet filled out for them, because they just don't want to keep it delayed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be happy to be involved in that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is ask for it to be on the next agenda so we can, and if see what, I know Mary was saying that she would fill that out to the best of her ability.
Yeah, I
With
think
Michael.
if we can do this like outside of like meeting time and then convene and go over it. Is that acceptable?
I'm not sure. Technically, if we're discussing things that are within our jurisdiction, it has to be an open meeting. If
Okay.
we're
Yeah, if
yeah,
more than 2 people are discussing something, it's considered public or whatever
if it's
the
a quorum. So if it's more,
quorum.
if
Thank you,
if
quorum.
it's 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and even with all the people on sidewalks now, we have to be, we can't discuss anything on sidewalks anymore. You can just look at them. So yeah.
Okay, then we'll just have to
So-
block out some time in our agenda to really
Yeah.
get
And
to brass
actually,
tacks.
the next agenda, let's see what Mary comes up with, and we'll go from there. But on the next agenda, I'm gonna have. Was there anything else you wanted to go over here? Are you
I
good?
don't think so. I think
Okay.
like you guys are able to look at it at your own pace.
For the next meeting, I'm going to add an executive session for 6:30. So if everybody is available at 6, I'll send out an email just to see if everybody's available, but just kind of save the date for that. I want to go over some stuff about the Hollis Road property.
Okay.
Okay. And okay, so where were we? All right, are we?
We're at 10, communications, public
Yes.
comment.
We do have a member of the public on. Do we have any public comment? Okay. Upcoming meeting. Our next meeting is on September 3rd, 2025, and that will be on Zoom. And at this point, I think I would be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Christine Germain, and I for myself.
And it's 9:38
And
p.m.
it is 9:30, 9:39 to my foot clock. But yes, thank you, Chris,
You're
for
welcome.
keeping me honest. And we are adjourning at 9:39 p.m. on August 20th, 2025. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.
Too. Bye.